The reason I'm doing this live, I got to work, got to my primary work as a licensed acupuncturist today, and one of my lovely coworkers was pointed out to me that Mr. Biden was getting Rooster 4 today. So Rooster 4 of the Needlecraft series, exciting Needlecraft series. So it's like, yeah, every time he acquires a new rooster, he does it on television. But so it's like, yeah, what else is new, right? Well, the interesting thing, he got this done on the morning of this solar eclipse in Libra Scorpio. So I say Libra Scorpio because visible sky, sidereal astrology was 6 degrees Libra. Eclipsing Venus, which is well-being and health and all that stuff. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah. And then so in standard Western tropical astrology, it's 1 degree Scorpio. So yeah, Libra deals with balance and value and all that stuff, and Scorpio deals with sudden ups and downs. Can deal with, sudden illnesses. So pretty wild he's getting it on this very day. And the other thing is too, is for him, since he's a Scorpio ascendant, when you look at it sidereally, the Libra, where it's taking place, is his 12th house. So the 12th house deals with isolation and isolated places, and hospitals fall into that category. And then if you do it from the other point of view, let me see. Yeah, if you do it from the other point of view, it's his ascendant sign. So one way or the other, it's not good to be roostering up on the day of an eclipse if it's in either your 12th or your ascendant house. I go more for the 12th on this, just because I think with the health astrology, I think the visible sidereal is more pertinent. It seems to be more accurate for me. So yeah, after acquiring this yet another rooster, I think of the Needlecraft series. I don't wish any ill upon him. I don't wish any illness upon him, but yeah, he could be he may need some attention. He may be incapacitated. I think between the next couple of weeks we could see Ms. Kamala Harris, aka Daenerys Targaryen, ascending to the Iron Throne. But like Daenerys, she's not going to last long. Her own party's going to destroy her. And even the left-leaning media has already started destroying her because the corporate sponsors never wanted her to really be in charge anyway. They just used her for, what is that intersection politics, where I think if you're a member of more than one sort of protected class, you become very appealing, because then you can help the political machine to rein in other members of those classes. So it's like the protected classes. It's like women, gay, or people who are not Caucasian. So she's two of those. Even though she was the first Indian American senator to be sworn into the Senate, she magically became the first African American vice president. So I mean, like a politician, she's a prostitute, and it's like when Hollywood actors are like, "I'll be whoever you want me to be." So that's her to a T. So yeah, they're gonna destroy her because they don't want her. I mean, she's a clown. I don't subscribe to a party. Certainly don't belong to a party. They're all ridiculous, but she's a prostitute. She put thousands of African Americans in jail for petty marijuana possession as a prosecutor in Oakland, California. So she's a partner of the Prison Corporation of America. So don't know who in their right mind would trust her. So yeah, I think with Mr. Biden, with Mr. Dementia Joe, he's been living on borrowed time for about a year. His astrology keeps getting hammered, and there are so many things happening that they indicate like somebody being ill or incapacitated, or worse. You know, and I don't wish any of this stuff on him, but for one, so what was there? November 19th last year, 2021, he had there was a lunar eclipse the day before his birthday. And when you have eclipses on or around your birthday, give or take a few days, you either lose a parent because the sun represents father, moon represents mother. If your parents are gone and you're older and your health is poor, which he hasn't really been in good health for the last 40 years with the, you know, he had a couple brain aneurysms and had surgery. You know, cocaine wasn't helping in the 70s and 80s. But so the point is he had that lunar eclipse the day before his birthday. So that's an indication that if you have, again, if you have an eclipse around your birthday, either you're going to lose a parent or you're going to get sick and possibly pass, likely pass within a year. So he's coming down to the end of that year, and you know, all the designer drugs in the world, which his handlers have access to, which they've been shooting him up with, I think have been keeping him going and borrowing that time. But I think by that November the 8th, you know, by around election day, which is the next lunar eclipse after today's, I think that's like kind of the end of the line for his reign on the Iron Throne. So Aries, what the hell is that? Let me see if he's the sixth house. So Aries, where the lunar eclipse is happening, is in his sixth house of health, illness, disease, sickness, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, I think he's got till about then before he's incapacitated in some way, shape, or form. You know, and then that whole lunar eclipse day on November 8th, that's gonna be like one of the most batshit wacko days in a while. You've got Moon, Rahu, and Uranus all conjunct. So it's gonna be like a day of just batshit crazy emotions, plus like the half-assed rebellion and disruption from Uranus. So yeah. You know, it's like Manhattan is like full of the like National Guard, New York National Guard, and they're doing all this weird stuff. They're not talking about what they're doing. I think the the corporate sponsors who run the politicians are basically planning riots. They're going to get people all whipped up and give them pallets of bricks to throw through business windows, and they're going to give them Molotov cocktails. Because having a lunar eclipse on election day, and that's the day of the midterm elections, going to be a flaming shit show of an election. Everybody is going to be screaming "Election EA odd fray, Election EA odd fray." And there's going to be some truth to it. You know, both sides get in on this, and you know, organized crime is, I think they install politicians. You have to have mafia backing to get elected into anything. Um, you know, above a local level. So people will be crying election EAA odd fray. And we should have a new puppet president on the Iron Throne. So, and you know, 2014, last time we had an eclipse actually in 2014 at 6 degrees of Libra, just like this one. And the Republicans won the midterms. So I think this is what will happen in actuality. But again, with the dynamics of election EA odd fray, may not come out this way, but it actually might be a clean contest but then the Democrat days might scream Lecnier Odfray, which I guess I wouldn't get canned on YouTube for saying. As long as they're crying foul, it's okay, but not the other side. No bias here. Like I said, I don't like either one of these arty pays. What was the other thing I wanted to say? Yeah. But yeah, another thing too is this Mars is like slowing down, getting ready to station in retrograde 1 degree of Gemini sidereally. It'd be 25, be 25 Gemini and Western. So those are so sidereally, that is in the lunar mansion of Prometheus. So Prometheus, the lunar mansion, straddles Taurus and Gemini. So Prometheus was the demigod. He's basically a version of Lucifer and Loki. So Lucifer and Loki, they're not evil, they're light bringers. Comes from the Indo-European, aka Aryan word for a word called Luca. So Luca is like a flash of lightning, a flash that starts a forest fire. So it's a flash of intellectual and spiritual brilliance. It's an epiphany, an aha. So this Mars retrograde is going to bring that. And, this Prometheus, Lucifer, Loki, they're gods of forbidden knowledge, forbidden wisdom, forbidden knowledge, hidden knowledge that changes your perception forever once you're privy to it, once you know it. So, yeah, we're going to get some forbidden knowledge getting dropped. And, the other thing, too, with today's solar eclipse, Venus is combust. It's within 1 degree of the sun, and it's being eclipsed. It's being consumed along with the sun by Ketu. So Venus is health and well-being. So it's basically health and well-being being swallowed. And so many people around me are sick, and there are schools around the country where it's like literally half the school, including the teachers, are out sick. So it's like, yeah, that has like the Needlecraft series written all over it. But that's a wacko theory. Supposedly. Yeah. So I think that's it. So look for this change in I think a change in leadership in a couple weeks by that Tuesday, by that November the 8th. So and none of this is a huge surprise. So it's like you did hear it here, but if you're part of my regular audience, it's like, yeah, you've pretty much known this. I'm just sort of hanging a date on it based on what's written in the sky. So, yeah. I'll be talking to you later. Have a nice one.